You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Right now at 7, the Reddings Mill Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of their own. We'll hear how firefighter Tucker Berry impacted his department and his community. Also, a long-standing radio station in Pittsburgh has a new home.
And we finally got some rain last night, which is going to keep us cool for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney. 7 o'clock already this morning, and it's Friday.
Yes.
So overall, a great day so far.
Absolutely. Nothing to complain about on Friday,
especially
for sure.
Not after getting some rain.
Absolutely. We want to turn it over now to a sad, heartbreaking story. The Reddings Mill Fire Protection District is mourning the loss of their fellow firefighter, Tucker Berry. Firefighter Tucker Berry passed away in an incident involving a golf cart Sunday at the age of 21.
KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to the fire department about the impact Berry had on their community.
He had drive and ambition that would rival anyone I've ever met.
Dedicated is the word Tucker Berry's coworkers use to describe him.
He always gave it 100%, 110%. Everything he did, he wanted to do better. Whether that was in the fire service, in this community.
Deputy Chief Metcalf says Berry lived the fire department's motto, which was "We care," and he even got custom suspenders with the phrase on it.
So he could see it every time he put his gear on, and he understood the mission.
The 21-year-old worked at Reddings Mill Fire Protection District for a year and a half before his tragic passing.
He's never going to be a person that really has anybody dislike him, and you're not going to you're just going to be a better person by hanging out with him.
We're a very close-knit family, and we would work outside of work on other projects, and he was willing to do it at no cost.
A close-knit bond he says he will miss. He says this is a big loss, not only for the fire department, but also for the community. Reporting in Reddings Mill, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, the firefighters say he's known for his community service in the fire service and in his hometown of Lockwood, Missouri.
It is sad to see somebody so young pass away, but it's also, I mean, the whole community was impacted by it. They loved him, and that's really, truly touching.
And now he's honored for the service that he gave to his community.
Yes.
Now the community gets to honor him.
And I think, we could all use a little bit more of that. We could all do a little bit more for our community and be a little bit more involved.
Yes.
Now, our community got some rain last night. Yes. So speaking of cooler temperatures for the weekend, we can go ahead and take a look outside. We've got temperatures starting off in the 60s this morning, so a little bit warmer than it should be this time of year. 65 out in Joplin, 63 in Pittsburgh. And then we had the rain showers last night. Not a ton of accumulation, but some areas got about an inch of rain just near Stockton, south of Mountain City near Fort Scott, Chanute, and Yates Center. Isolated spots got about an inch of rain. The rest of us received less than half of an inch of rain. Miami about a half an inch. And then in the Joplin Metro, Carl Junction, Carthage area, only a quarter of an inch. So not a ton of rain, though we welcomed any bit of rain that we could have gotten. Now, clouds are starting to clear out, and we're going to have a really nice sunny day starting off again. Mid 60s, still the overcast conditions currently. Winds are calm, but that boundary is continuing to push out, and then those winds pick up a little bit more behind the frontal boundary. So 29 miles per hour in Pittsburgh, 30 miles per hour in Parsons, Independence, Nowata, Yates Center. But then eventually, as we head into mid-morning and even mid-afternoon, those winds do die down for a little bit, and then we're going to have a pretty nice day ahead. But we'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, the McDonald County Schools celebrated the opening of a new storm shelter with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Now, the shelter located at the White Rock Elementary in Jane, Missouri, is one of 6 being built across the district, thanks to a $21.5 million bond issue passed by voters in 2022. Now, the new shelter will provide improved safety for students, staff, and the community, but will also serve as an additional educational space.
Well, for one, pride in our community, pride in our building, pride in our schools. We want people to realize that that we care about our students and we want our students to be safe. And I say students and staff as well. We want them to be able to come to school and have a safe environment for learning and a safe environment for activities as well.
Now, once the construction projects are completed, every school in the McDonald County R1 school district will have an accessible storm shelter. The KRPS radio station that operates from Pittsburg State University is moving out of the building it has been in for the past 36 years. The radio station will now have a new home in the Bicknell Center for the Performing Arts. KOAM's Anthony Saviello gives us one final look at this station's home for over 3 decades and speaks with a man who's worked there from the beginning.
At the home of the Gorillas sits Shirk Hall. Within there lies the Baxter Broadcasting Center, the home of 89.9 KRPS. At least it has been.
It's a house cleaning, and it's an opportunity to, we can make the best of it.
Cleaning house after 36 years has Matthew Witt looking back through the history of the radio station.
Oh, here we are smoking a cigarette in our fashionable suit and tie. Yes, so that was a nice discovery.
Matt has been at the station since its birth.
Yeah, these are kind of clunky and not my favorite media, but that's how we would record it back 30 plus years ago.
30 plus years of working with a variety of people.
It's been interesting to go through this process with him, because I'm a relative short timer, only here 7.5 years, compared to Matt's 36 years.
30 plus years of history, not just within the CDs and records, but the man who cares for them.
I've gone through so many boxes, and we have television or newspaper articles with Matt. Matt in 1998, and Matt in 2008, and Matt in 2018.
30 plus years, not just working in a radio station, but building relationships.
I suppose a bond has developed over the decades, and we appreciate that, and I hope we're still serving those folks into the future.
But even with eyes on the future, there's still room to remember the past.
So it's very old-fashioned in many ways, but you can develop an affection for something old-fashioned, I think.
In Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The KRPS general manager tells us the station hopes to be fully moved into its new home by July of next year. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, posting your views on social media could be costing you job opportunities. We'll have a few tips on how you can help yourself for your next post. And later, she's one of the most recognizable figures in history, and now she's having her story told in a documentary. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning. McDonald's is hit with its first lawsuit following an E. coli outbreak linked to one of its most popular meals. Eric Stelly, a resident of Colorado, claims he was sickened with E. coli just days after eating a quarter pounder. Now, Stelly says health officials told him his case is linked to McDonald's recent outbreak, which has sickened consumers in several states and killed one person. Now, the lawsuit seeks $50,000 in damages. McDonald's has yet to comment on the case. The Biden administration boosts America's airports with some additional improvement funds. The Federal Aviation Administration says it's giving out nearly $1 billion in aid to share among 125 airports in 46 states. Now, the funds are intended to make upgrades in facilities such as aiding passengers with disabilities, building newer baggage systems, creating larger security checkpoints, and expanding gate capacity. The fund's distributions range from less than $1 million for some airports to $40 million for others. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the money also helps grow local economies, create jobs, and provides better safety and efficiency to travel. Well, the CDC is sharing its updated COVID-19 vaccine recommendations for certain adults. Now, the CDC is urging people who are 65 and older to get a second dose of the latest COVID-19 vaccine about 6 months after their first shot. Now, the agency is also urging those who are moderately or severely immunocompromised to follow the same recommendation. Now, while COVID-19 hospitalizations have gone down as of mid-October, the CDC still says getting the updated vaccine can help protect overall against newer variants and reduce the chance of long COVID. Well, at the end of election season almost in sight, technology and business experts say it can be difficult to keep from posting your opinions online. But if you're on the market for a new job opportunity, you may want to keep your thoughts about hot topics to yourself. Chanley Painter takes a closer look at the new research that shows how political posts could impact your hiring prospects.
Social media lets people voice their opinions to the world, but preliminary research finds folks on the hunt for a job may want to avoid publicly posting about certain topics, especially if the content is political in nature.
You feel like I should have a right to have an opinion. If you're looking for work, not a very good idea.
Professor Jason Thatcher of the University of Colorado Boulder is studying this subject. According to his initial findings, posting about hot-button political matters can cause some hiring managers to overlook a candidate's job qualifications and pass them over for an interview.
We've been working on looking at immigration, and what we find out is that if you're posting memes one side or the other, running immigration washes out the job-related information entirely. Right? So the more volatile the topic, the more powerful that social media information becomes.
Thatcher believes other topics like abortion and the January 6th Capitol riot may trigger similar results. He says some employers may see a candidate's political expressions as part of their personality. Depending on the employer's views, they could think the prospective hire may be hard to work with.
And what we find pretty consistently is if I agree with your party affiliation, so if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or I agree with you on the issue, okay, I'm more likely to think you're a good person to hire.
Don't think people are actually looking? Data from a career builder survey back in 2018 found 70% of companies said they researched the social media profiles of their job candidates. Thatcher isn't telling people not to post, but recommends keeping profiles private.
And that's a look at our top national stories. Here's Lindsay with a quick look at your forecast.
Well, clouds are starting to clear out and we're going to have a nice little sunrise out there. We had a good amount of rain last night, not a ton, but it was just enough that gave us a light sprinkle across all of our counties. A couple of areas got up to an inch of rain near Nevada, Stockton, south of Chanute in some isolated spots, and near Yates Center as well. Now, the further southeast we go, the less amount of rain that we got. Joplin, only a quarter of an inch, same in Monette. Now, Miami got about a half of an inch. Unfortunately, south of Grove and Bentonville, little to no rainfall at all. But overall, we were happy to get the rain, and it will cool us off for the weekend. Well, we're shaping up to have a pretty good day. We did get some storms last night, which helped us out. I mean, we needed the rain. We definitely needed the cooler temperatures. And we've got a nice sunrise out in 7th and Rangeline, though the clouds are still sticking around. They will be clearing out here shortly in the next hour or so. Now, the rain amounts that we got, not a ton, but about an inch as a maximum in some places near Nevada, Fort Scott, Stockton, south of Chanute near Parsons as well, and near Yates Center. The further south we went, the less amount of rain we got, only about a half an inch to a quarter of an inch. Now, rain and clouds are starting to clear out. We still have a few scattered clouds kind of sticking around in the Missouri side, but overall, it is going to be a good day. A light breeze still with gusts up to 20 miles per hour through the morning hours out of the north, so we're finally getting that cooler air moving in. And then as we head into the evening, winds pick back up, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. As we get closer to about 9-10 p.m. Now, yesterday we reached record highs, 90 degrees. This is late October. We should not be seeing temperatures in the low 90s, but that's what we had. And then that cold front last night will cool us down back down to the mid 70s. Still not close to average, but closer than 90 degrees. Now, off to school, off to work, low 60s, and still some clouds as well as a light breeze out of the north. Those gusts again, 20 miles per hour. And then as we head home today, Temperatures dropping down to mid 70s, and then some southern counties only up to about 78 degrees, so not so bad. And then we still have that light breeze. Now, the further north you go, the cooler we're going to be. 73 in Nevada, Fort Scott, Stockton, 72, Iola, and Yates Center. But again, central counties, 74, 75, 76. And then as high as Newada, Veneta, 78 degrees. So not so bad today, much cooler. And then even as we head into the weekend, it's going to be much cooler as well. Now, by 6 p.m., we're already in the low 70s, which is where we were last night at midnight. This tonight at midnight down to the upper 50s with our overnight low dropping down to upper 40s. So we are 20 degrees cooler tonight than we were last night thanks to that cold front. As we head into the weekend, we do have a ridge forming over our area, and a ridge just means warmer air, high pressure building over in our area. It doesn't start on Saturday. Saturday's going to be our coolest day, down to low 70s. But then by Sunday, we've got that ridge kind of in full form, and we've got temperatures starting to warm up in the upper 70s. But as we head into Monday, those clouds start to push in, and we see temperatures already reaching 80s. So it's going to be a hot one. This weekend, though, looking good. 73 Saturday, 78 on Sunday. But again, much cooler Saturday and sunny all weekend long. Now, again, as we head into the work week, next upcoming work week, temperatures are going to be in the mid 80s. Cloudy skies on Monday, a bit breezy on Tuesday, and then we have another cold front moving in on Wednesday, pretty late Wednesday, dropping those temperatures for Halloween, clearing out early in the morning by about 6, 7 a.m. So we've got a perfect Halloween set up. Clear skies as we head into the afternoon, perfect for trick-or-treating, and much cooler as well, though those rain chances do continue for the rest of the weekend. Scattered shower chances all weekend long next weekend. Hopefully going to get some rain. Now, that's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, sometimes truly iconic figures are recognizable by a single name. Madonna, Beyonce, Cher. Well, a new documentary looks at another such notable woman.
David Daniel has a look.
What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history?
Martha Stewart may have been the original influencer. The documentary Martha chronicles her rise, fall, and return.
She was preposterously perfect. Perfect little pattern. Perfect. Things look fabulous, but are they?
She wanted her story told. She was ready to tell her story, but in her Martha way. You know, Martha is not a woman who is comfortable with self-reflection. Martha powers forward.
The cookie cutter house and the cookie cutter life was not for me.
Director R.J. Cutler says Stewart surprised him.
My expectations were a childhood of privilege and, you know, a certain kind of proper whatever. You know, what you'd think of with Martha Stewart.
What is more important, a marriage or a career?
You told me.
I don't know.
The more she told me, the more I saw an opportunity to make a film about American womanhood.
This is a targeted prosecution. It's what we're calling a hunt.
I was a trophy for these idiots. I was dragged into solitary, no food or water. Those prosecutors should have been put in a Cuisinart and turned on high.
When she didn't want to give it up, she pointed us to things that would give it up on her behalf. Her prison diaries, the letters to her husband during the breakup of their marriage.
If you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of get out of that marriage.
Didn't you have an affair early on?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that. I could have just been a miserable has-been housewife, but I didn't let that happen to myself. And I'm so happy I didn't.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, Martha debuts in select theaters today and on Netflix on Wednesday, October 30th.
I am going to have to check that out because I love Martha.
She's iconic.
She is
Martha
iconic.
Stewart.
She is way up there on all of the list of iconic people in history. She's on it for sure. That's awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, police and firefighters in Webb City come together to raise money for area fundraisers.
And after some rain showers, we finally got to cool down for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. The Vernon County Fairgrounds in Nevada, Missouri rolled out a youth fair yesterday. The theme of the event was Transition to Your Finish Line, Rev Up Your Future. The event, which included vendors and a car show, also provided information and resources for youth with disabilities as they make the transition into adulthood.
We really hope that they learn information from all the resources that were represented today to help them transition into adulthood, being able to learn about what jobs they may want to do, transitioning into school, just moving on into their own lives after they graduate high school.
The fair also featured award-winning public speaker and author Aaron Likens. People in Southeast Kansas headed to the Outreach Health Fair in Pittsburgh. The event at the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas featured all types of health screenings, including dental and vision, lead testing, and more.
We have a lot of members of Sunflower Health Plan here in this vicinity in Southeast Kansas, and we know that access to care can be a challenge, and so it's important to us that we are able to meet members and people of the community where they're at.
Various area groups and businesses such as Hy-Vee and the Crawford County Health Department made the screenings possible. Now let's check in with Lindsay for a look at the forecast.
Well, taking a look at 7th and Rangeline, clouds are starting to clear out. We've got a nice little sunrise going on out there. And we're starting off the morning a little bit warmer because that front just passed. So we haven't quite cooled down yet, but we did get some rain, not a ton, but about an inch of rain in the northern counties. You can see near Stockton about an inch, just south of Mountain City near Fort Scott and Nevada about an inch, south of Chanute near Parsons, and in isolated spots near Yates Center as well. Now the further southeast we went, the less amount of rain we got. Now Miami and southeastern Kansas near Columbus, about a half an inch, near Coffeyville about a half an inch, but Joplin Metro, Webb City area, only about a quarter of an inch. So not a ton of rain, unfortunately, but we're happy to get any rain whatsoever. Now, clouds are starting to clear out. You can see still kind of along the Missouri border, but soon they're going to be clearing out. We're going to have a great looking day. Temperatures already in the mid 60s, and then we're just going to warm up only slightly, only 10 degrees up to the mid 70s. Plus, we've got a nice little breeze from the north, so winds still gusting up to 20, 30 miles per hour through the next several hours before they start to die down. But that'll be nice because we got a nice cool, crisp fall breeze ahead of the high temperature today, which again is only in the mid 70s. Now this weekend, even cooler, and we'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, police officers and firefighters gathered to embrace each other and their community for a good cause. Now, Badges and Burgers event took place at the fire department in Webb City yesterday. KOM's Lonnie Walton takes us there.
Done this for over 25 years, and for 25 years we've been cooking burgers and benefiting local fundraisers.
Don Melton is Webb City's chief of police. He says this fundraiser event benefits many in need, even those close to home.
Last year we just did it for Webb City employees. We had an employee's family going through a medical emergency, so we kind of helped them last year with our funds.
Badges and Burgers donates to several organizations throughout the community, like the United Way.
All the proceeds go to benefit the Area Agency on Aging, United Way, and the Webb City Cares.
Dwayne Dwelling, Executive Director of United Way in Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas, says these funds are going to some very key areas.
So these funds will help United Way fund agencies that provide services in the area of education, health, and financial stability.
Milton says this is all for the biggest cause, helping people.
It's our way to give back to the community. You know, they give us so much, so we're happy to give back to them.
Reporting in Webb City, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Well, in addition to burgers, there was also a raffle. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and that means Shannon Becker will be with us to share his Big 3 news stories of the week. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his Big 3 news stories of the week. Happy Friday and good morning to you,
Hello,
Shannon.
and you? You doing
Fantastic.
well? Oh,
Cover
good.
yourself, yeah?
Good. Great. Thank
Wonderful.
you. Let's take a look at the Big 3 stories this week, live and local. What's happening where you live? Number 3, it was Bates County, just a little bit north of Nevada. There's a fire in the median, fire department putting it out, Rich Hill Fire Department, and a Bates County Sheriff's deputy struck from behind, 70 miles an hour. So
Wow.
when stuff like this that's happening on the interstates,
Yes.
always like a fire truck or a police vehicle kind of block so the fire department can do their work.
Yes.
Rear-ended, we're talking multiple people rushed to hospitals. One was flown to Kansas City. We learned from Sheriff Chad Anderson of Bates County that the deputy is doing fine. He, in fact, helped get people into the ambulances before he was taken to the hospital himself.
Unbelievable.
So it's a pretty amazing
Yes.
story. Check it out, KOAM News Now. Our number 2 story, live and local, breaking news. A young man on a motorized bicycle is killed as he's struck from behind near Jasper, Missouri. This happened late Saturday night. Now, motorized bicycles are not allowed on interstates in the lane of travel, and that's actually where he was. It wasn't on the shoulder, he was in the lane of travel. Now, you can have motorized bicycles on other roads and stuff like that, but not in the lane of travel on interstates. There's a minimum, obviously dangerous, but a minimum speed limit as well. The 21-year-old man was from Lamar, Missouri that died in that event. Our number 1 story, a Joplin area firefighter, Reddingsville firefighter Tucker Berry died in an incident. Saturday evening is when the incident occurred. He passed away the next morning on Sunday. They will have services coming up. It will be tomorrow morning. They'll be in Lockwood at the school there. Tragic story still unfolding. The Carl Junction Police Department have asked for information from individuals if they saw a couple of golf carts around Briarbrook late Saturday afternoon and maybe what was happening with those things. More details. Heartbreaking for sure. And our bonus story of the week, everybody's talking about this. You ever hear the movie Roadhouse from like the 1980s?
Oh, probably from my mom.
Yeah, your mom.
You know.
Well, we all lived it. Patrick Swayze, it was a movie that was kind of fictitiously based in a town in Jasper, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
But they never came here, they never filmed
yes.
here, never nothing like that. But now they are building, someone is building a grocery store, convenience store, gas station called Roadhouse, which is the same logo looking thing. It's so
that's incredible.
cool.
That is so cool.
I just happened to be there over the weekend and I saw the lights of this place. It's got the Double Deuce, which was the name of the bar that Patrick Swayze worked at as a bouncer. It's just going to be a beautiful complex. It's on the east side of the interstate, so just outside of town.
How
so
fun is
yesterday,
that?
People just been talking about it like crazy.
yeah.
It was like an oasis when I saw the lights. I was like, what is this? So you have to check it out.
Absolutely.
Unknown when it's going to open, but it's looking like pretty close. They were just putting in fixtures when I saw it.
That's definitely exciting.
It's your big 3.
Well, Shannon, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you as always. And stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking good for the day. We had some rain showers last night, but clearing out. We still have a few clouds, but overall it is going to be a fantastic day out in 7th Range Line. You can see those clouds kind of pushing on out of here, and then we are going to have a nice, clear, sunny day. Temperatures getting only up to the mid-70s. Now, the rain that we had last night, not a ton of accumulation, though in some areas we got up to about an inch of rain just north of Nevada, near Stockton as well, south of Chanute, and in isolated spots out near Yates Center. We also had about an inch of rain out there. Now, the rest of us, only about a half of an inch. You can see that's southeast Kansas, near Columbus, south of Pittsburgh, near Miami as well. And then out in the Joplin area, only about a quarter of an inch. So not a ton of rain, though we welcomed any bit of it. Clouds are starting to clear out. And again, over the next couple hours, we're going to have a great day. Cooler temperatures plus a little breeze out of the north. Winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour through 10:30 this morning. They died down but pick back up as we head into the evening. Early evening around 5 to 6 p.m. We're going to see winds start to pick up 25 to 30 miles per hour. And even stronger than that as you head into the overnight hours. Now, yesterday we had a high of 90 degrees. This is end of October, late October, and we're still seeing these high temperatures in the low 90s. It was crazy. Record temperatures. Previous record was beat out back in 2003. So we definitely have a much cooler day ahead. Starting off, though, a bit warmer than yesterday's low in the low 60s. Still a little breeze and partly cloudy skies, but as we head into the afternoon, then we're going to see that drop in temperatures from yesterday down from 90 degrees to 75 degrees. Still a little bit of a breeze, gusts up to 20 miles per hour, and mostly sunny skies. Now temperatures across the region, 75 in Joplin, 74 Pittsburgh, Parsons, Neodesha, Carthage, 71 in Monette, 73 in Cassville. Some of the northern counties also, Yates and Iola, 72. And then our hottest temperature will be out in Veneta and Nowata, around 78 degrees. So we're all still in the 70s, so we're looking good. By 6 p.m., low 70s, and by midnight, down to the 50s. Yesterday, our midnight temperature was low 70s, so we're nearly 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. As we head into the weekend, a bit of a cooler day on Saturday as well, down to the low 70s, and some clouds overnight. Though we're heading into Sunday, we've got this ridge building in our area, and that ridge is just high pressure, so warmer air from the south kind of moving into our area. So we're going to see a warm up starting on Sunday, upper 70s Sunday and into the mid 80s by Monday and Tuesday, plus a little bit of a cloudy day on Monday as well. Now we're looking ahead to having a cold front that's still sitting off the coast, west coast, moving into our area just before Halloween, so in perfect timing. But until then, we're going to enjoy this weekend before it gets warmer. 73 degrees is a high on Saturday, 78 degrees is a high on Sunday, so much cooler and sunny weekend as well. Now we warm up again heading into the week. Those storms start on Wednesday, but they clear out just in time to have a nice Thursday. Temperatures only getting up to about 70 degrees, and storms and rain clouds clearing out early in the morning. Perfect clear afternoon for Halloween trick-or-treating. Let's look at your forecast. Let's go over to Elise with Consumer Watch.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. McDonald's is hit with its first lawsuit following an E. coli outbreak linked to one of its most popular meals. Eric Stelly, a resident of Colorado, claims he was sickened with E. coli just days after eating a quarter pounder. Now, Stelly says health officials told him his case is linked to McDonald's recent outbreak, which has sickened consumers in several states and killed one person. The lawsuit seeks $50,000 in damages, and McDonald's has yet to comment on the case. Well, an E. coli outbreak has restaurants pulling onions as a precaution. Now, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC restaurants in the U.S. have removed fresh onions from some locations. Food safety officials investigating the McDonald's quarter pounder related E. coli outbreak haven't linked any cases to Taco Bell or the other Yum brands. Now, federal officials are examining the onions and beef patties used in quarter pounders. The FDA said preliminary information from its investigation showed slivered onions served on the sandwiches are a likely source of contamination. And the Biden administration boosts America's airports with some additional improvement funds. The Federal Aviation Administration says it's giving out nearly $1 billion in aid to share among 125 airports in 46 states. The funds are intended to make upgrades in facilities such as aiding passengers with disabilities, building newer baggage systems, creating larger security checkpoints, and expanding gate capacity. Now, the funds distributions range from less than $1 million for some airports to $40 million for others. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the money also helps grow local economies, create jobs, and provides better safety and efficiency to travel. And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Well, a Frisco, Texas teen watched his football team play this week, months after a freak accident involving a wasp and a pool that left him paralyzed.
Marvin Hirsch shows us how people are rallying behind him.
I'm terrified. If you follow the chronology of Simeon Williams Summer, his journey to the stadium gate is heart-stopping and nerve-wracking. On the first day of summer, he and his friends were trying to dodge a wasp at a Frisco area swimming pool. SJ dove in and shattered his spine. Paralyzed from the neck down, he's been fighting in the hospital and rehab for more than 100 days. He got out earlier this month.
We're going to persevere through this, and with SJ's spirit and his disposition and demeanor,
nothing could keep his teammates at Cobb Middle School from running to his side Monday night.
I pray for his family.
They took a knee and prayed for him.
It feels really good because I really missed him for a long time, and it just sucks not having him around sometimes.
He's regained some of his upper body usage, but still has some challenges. That opposition now faces motivation from the might of the NFL.
Just keep your head high and just keep pressing on and just keep that will, the will to fight, the will to survive.
You would like to think, man, that, having somebody come rub your head and having people maybe you don't even know to say we're praying for you, it's strength for one more day.
On Thursday, SJ will get a new chin-operated wheelchair. And then...
So when he returns to school, which we're anticipating in the next couple of weeks, we've already had conversations with the district. They're excited about his return.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
He'll be closer to the energy of the team, cheering for his comeback. In Frisco, Marvin Hurst, CBS News, Texas.
It's a heartbreaking story, but it's great to see his teammates and his community rally behind him as he's going through this difficult time and, still going through recovery and adjusting to new life, to the new normal.
Definitely. And, not to mention even starting school again in the next couple of weeks. I know we'll all be praying for him out here at the station. Well, weather's looking pretty good this weekend after some storms, and we're all happy to get the rain around here. We've been in a drought for quite some time, in a dry spell, but the rain last night did cool us down into the 70s for the weekend and sunny skies, so we all have something to look forward to here.
Absolutely. Well, stick around. We'll be right back. Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Readings-Mill Firefighter Protection firefighters are mourning the loss of firefighter Tucker Berry. Now, Berry passed away in an incident involving a golf cart Sunday. They remember the 21-year-old for being passionate about being a firefighter. Now, the firefighters say he is known for his community service in the fire service and in his hometown of Lockwood, Missouri. McDonald County Schools celebrated the opening of a new storm shelter with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Now, the shelter is one of 6 being built across the district thanks to a bond issue passed by voters in 2022. Now, the new shelter will provide improved safety for students, staff, and the community, but will also serve as additional educational space. And after 36 years of being in the same building, radio station KRPS 98.9 will have a new home. Since 1988, the station has been in Shrink Hall on the Pitt State campus. Over the next year, the station will be moved in full across campus to the Bicknell Center for the Performing Arts. The station has been off air while equipment was being moved, but began broadcasting again yesterday.
Now, temperatures this morning starting off in the low 60s, and we're warming up very slowly, only getting up to the mid 70s today. We also have starting the day off with some clouds following the rain showers last night and the thunderstorms, and winds gusting up to 20 to 30 miles per hour intermittently throughout the day. But after that, we're going to have a very fantastic, cool, sunny weekend ahead.
Absolutely. And it's going to still feel like fall, especially with the temperatures we've been experiencing. So a little bit cooler. Perfect.
A little, yeah, because yesterday we got up to 90
it was
degrees.
Toasty out there.
I was asleep. I was asleep during the hottest part of the day.
I was burning outside.
I did not want to go outside during that. I'm just going to pretend like it's not 90 degrees in October. By staying inside in my cool house and being like, oh no, it's chilly outside.
Ignorance is bliss. Why not?
Ignorance is bliss. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, some party animals put on their best costume for the Fantasy Fest Pet Masquerade in Key West, Florida on Wednesday. Now, the 4-legged contestants dressed up in a variety of costumes, including Elton John and a Baywatch lifeguard. Families also joined their pooches on stage for the fur-filled event.
Wednesday's Pet Masquerade is part of a 10-day costume and masking festival. This year's theme is, it's a 90s neon cosmic carnival. I should go out there and sign my dogs up for that. What do you think?
I think you should. I'd like to sign my dogs up for that too.
I mean, 90s neon cosmic carnival. I don't even know where to begin on that theme. I wouldn't know.
You begin by dressing your pet up as a Baywatch lifeguard.
That's true.
There you go. Give them some
That's
neon,
very
give them
true.
some glow sticks. They're ready to party.
Well, thanks so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be right back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.